So it's Friday morning. Sun's starting to come out. We got charter around noon. I talked to Heath this morning, and I said that I wanted to take half a day. He texts me a picture about 2 minutes later and says, scratch half your day. He's up in North Carolina. I got to do another job for him. So absolutely, I'm employee of the year now for Heath. I got Danielle's cousin. What does that make us? Do you know? I don't know any of that stuff either. We were talking about that last night with Charlie. Like first cousin, second cousin. I don't know any of that stuff.
I don't know.
So anyway,
Friends.
Pete called me this morning and said, hey, I'm in town. I've got nothing going on. And I said, well, come on with me. I'll show you what kind of train wreck we're going to get into this morning. So he's going to get a free boat ride. He might have to help me. What we're doing now is we're heading over to the Spirit of South Carolina, which you guys have seen me bring up from Savannah. And I'll post a picture of the picture that I got this morning from Heath. And basically, the fendering system has broken loose and is basically almost kind of floating out to sea. So I'm probably going to have to move the Spirit of South Carolina off the dock, bring the fendering system back in, and then somehow secure it to the dock and get back here to get the boat ready for noontime. So that's our goal today. I'm glad Pete's here because God knows what's going to happen. I got ropes and pulleys and shivs, and we'll see what happens. We'll do a video when we get over there. We're just passing the Coast Guard station now, and we're out of the no-wake zone, so we're going to throttle up and get out of here and see what kind of crap we can get into. Okay, I'm not quite sure why none of my audio recorded on this one, but we're coming up to the Spirit of South Carolina right now, and I can see the fendering system obviously not in its proper location. And then I realized that we've got a little kayak coming over to it. So Jason and another one of the guys is already on scene trying to figure out what we're going to do with this thing, and we pulled up right after this to start helping them.
Icons 8 Music.
All right, so we thought we had this. We were just going to pull it back in, but we realized that there's a chain on it. Right, Jason? And now we've got to drag it all the way back out again and flip it because that's the end. That's where it needs to be. So we've got to 180 this whole thing. That's what we're working on. All right, this has turned into a mess now. I've tried pushing this out like 4 or 5 times, and it's just stuck. So we actually had a guy come by in a little tender, and I had him push the whole unit out so we could get it around, and then it got stuck. So I'll show you that in a second. But we did have to use a small little tender as the guy was driving by. We also had a chain and a rope that were kind of wrapped around one another, and we had to pull it out and get everything underneath itself. And then we had dock lines and fenders, and it was just a disaster trying to figure out the cluster to get everything in the right order so we could get the thing around. This is harder than I'll turn it the other way. It's harder than I'll turn it the other way. Rotate it that way. There you go. That's better. Harder than expected. On the upside, we're kind of slack tied.
Yeah.
That's your tag mark right there. It's coming. Yeah, no. How about you bet you're gonna go under this as well, probably. Yeah. All right. I was thinking earlier. Pushing it back out again. Okay. Really harkening back to my whaling days as a child. Turn of the century. Pete, what do you think's in that boat? Come on now.
Septic systems.
Huh?
Septic tanks?
No.
Concrete?
Engine.
Oh, that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Detroit. All day long.
Tell by that roar.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Just like those big metro buses, when they spool those things up, it's immediate. But they're not EPA compliant anymore, so they got rid of them.
I know.
I'm gonna
That was fun. Still moving it up. Good stuff. And now the chain and the rope are hung up on the bottom somewhere. Fun stuff. Might have to get the boat and drag it out. Problem solved. Hold it free. All right. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so now it's tied up alongside the boat just so I could get out and get work done a little easier. But now we've got all of the line on the bow of the boat, and we've got to get it from the port side over to the starboard side. So I'm going to pull the boat up. We're going to throw all the line on there, and I'm going to bring it back underneath the boat around the bow sprit, and then toss it back up on land because there's like 100 feet worth of line there.
That work?
Yeah, good enough. All right, just watch the line. I'm going to spin around.
Okay.
Is anybody on the other side to grab it? Okay. So now I've got all the line in the boat, and now I need to move it over to the other side, but I also have to move the boat. So I also have to pay out some of the line so I can move the boat and get it over. So it's a fine line of paying out too much line and staying in position so the line doesn't get wrapped up in the propellers. So you can see that I'm just moving it now, switching it over to the other side, and then I'm going to slowly move the boat over, kind of wiggle it back over without going too far to try and keep as much of the line in the boat as possible. And then I'm going to pass it over to the other guys. A good time to plug my close quarter maneuvering course and on the water training that I do. You can see how close I can get to this boat and maneuver the boat in and out, and that's kind of what we do for training as well. So if you've got a new boat, or you don't know what you're doing, or you're getting a bigger boat or a smaller boat and you just need some help and some confidence, I also teach that. I've been doing that for probably at least 20 years. So got it really dialed in, make it easy, fun, and you don't destroy your boat. So you can either call me before you guys crash your boat or after. It doesn't bother me. It's just gonna be a little bit more expensive the other way around. tie it off and call it done. So another job for Heath. You're welcome. All right, Pete, how'd you do?
Good, a lot of fun.
Oh, God. Yeah, so that was fun. We got it done. Took a little bit longer than expected. Everything was sort of knotted up and curled up. I had to obviously take the boat out. I don't know how much video I got, because I was trying to do 15 things at once. And but I was all up in that bowsprit just in case that didn't come out. Felt like a little whaler. Old school. I think we should have taken the boat out. If it was me, I think it would have been easier if we just took the boat out for a little cruise. I mean, I've driven it before. Yeah. I took it up from Savannah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Under sail or under power?
Under power getting out into the Atlantic because it's very shallow, and then we raised sails and shut the engines down. And then I came up on top and screamed because it was too quiet. You know, I need those iron ponies.
Yeah.
So, exactly. So that's it. She's back in place, and he throws me a new shirt for charter, and we're gonna head back to the dock and get ready for charter. So that's it for Friday. Our friends out there. That's our boat right there. Same one. And the Pride is out too. Oh, well, while I've got you, it was supposed to be like 100% chance of rain today. This is why we don't listen to the weather. Don't call me about the weather 10 days out and say, Cap Dave, looks like it's gonna rain. What about our charter? It's sunny. It's always sunny here in Charleston. We don't worry about weather. Delete all of your apps, all your weather apps. Don't look at them and don't call me. That's what I tell everybody.
We go unless we just can't go.
Exactly. Most of the time it's like this. All right, that's it. We're wrapping up Friday.